morning, Stitchy. Hey, dang it. And Stitch says, Jack, it's me. You don't have to hide. How are you, Stitchy? Good morning, toy pups. Wow, Stitch, it's a beautiful Wednesday morning. Wow. I'm good on this beautiful Wednesday morning. Jack is going to the groomer this morning. He's going to get a bath and get his feet done all pretty. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're going to be so, so pretty. Yes. These feet, no more Dr. Seuss feet. No, no, no. No, no, no. Okay. Ouch, knots. Stitch says we are going to make it beautiful with our gorgeousness. You're so funny. Far point, yo cat, who makes bigger? Um, Jack for sure. That was a little bit of a personal question, but Jack for sure. Stitch, keep an eye on that one. I love you so much, Stitchy. Ouch. Far Point Station says, I just want us all to have healthy colons. Well, that is very important, so thank you for your concern. No issues here. Am I going to the new? Does Weezer have some? Is Weezer still around? My goodness. Obviously not, since I didn't know they were even still around. I'm obviously not going to their concert. Hi, Daniel Berry, Sports Highlight. Good morning. I've never heard of the Shins. Hi, Rusty Dog. Oh, look, Jack is a rusty dog. Look it. Are you sleepy? Are you very sleepy? Oh. Okay. Good morning, Carl Shell. How are you? Am I still on good terms with my ex-husband? Yes. What do you know of it? I would not doubt he is here some mornings. As a matter of fact, I think I'll give him a call today. How about a text? Thanks for reminding me to reach out. WJ21. I love all the emojis. Good morning. Carl says, I was at A-Frame's party. Aw, good, Carl. You know, I was very busy mowing all day yesterday. I've got one more day of mowing ahead of me. And then I should be done until next week when I'm probably going to hire somebody. Stop. Farpoint Station says, I'm glad you guys were able. I wouldn't say we're friends. That's pushing it. I do think if I need something and I can't find it somewhere else, like a ride to a doctor's appointment, I'm going to be careful. He would help me. And I would help him out, but we are not in each other's lives on a day-to-day basis type thing. Good morning, sweet Paul. How are you? You were at A-Frame's party, and then, oh, so was Tina. Tina Y. Awesome, Carl. Paul, how was your walk yesterday, my friend? I'm good. I hope hopefully everyone else is as well, right? We really have to. It was, especially from mowing yesterday, a snotty nose. I've been sneezing all morning. Oh, stop. Stitch says, is he trapped in my ex-husband? Is my ex-husband trapped in my basement? Is that what you're saying, Stitch? No. Your walk was good. It was rain, but it's raining currently. Oh no. Nico, hello. Farpoint Station. I don't have a primary motivating factor in changing careers. Thank you very much. Where are you from? What's up with you? You tell us more about you. Stitch is, oh, Yogi's down in the basement with my ex-husband. Well, you know, Yogi can make a friend out of anybody. Farpoint Station says, I'm from the Pacific Northwest. Okay, so Washington, Oregon, or Northern California? I'm sorry, Carl said nice and windy here, but sunny. Oh, he says nice and windy, but sunny. Like the sunny is the bad part. I'm glad the sun is out for you, Carl. Farpoint Station says Washington. Nice. I've not been to Washington State. I've been to a little bit of Oregon and Northern California. And I would go back. 8 out of 10 would return. Wasa says, hey, Stitch, Carl, Paul. Hey, Wasa, how are you? And Paul says, I will take the sun right here, Carl. Gosh, I had so much of it yesterday. I was done with it. Stitch says, sis, is he going too far with the personal questions? No, he's okay. I wasn't sure at first, but he seems to be okay. Thank you. Oh, Wasa says, hello, Cat. I almost forgot you. Gee. Stitchy, how have you been, my dear? You woke up in a good mood, or you started off this morning in a good mood with me? What's going on? Not that a good mood is a bad thing. I'm just really glad to see it and wondering what's going on with you. Oh, Carl says Carlsberg are taking over distribution of Pepsi. I forgot. Woke up. No, you are still awake. What is happening later? That's what I need to know. Why are you excited for later? Farpoint, how do I know you? Have you been here under another name? You haven't been to sleep yet, and you're going to a basketball game. Nice. Farpoint says you don't and no first time. I do love living in Tennessee. I love the mountains and I love the rivers and the lakes. Nature. Stitch says mom, monkey, mom's friend. Oh, mom and monkey, that's mom's friend, and me are going to basketball. What kind of basketball game? Hi, Michael. Paul says, "Is Carlsberg taking over Pepsi? Not in my neck of the woods." Michael says, "Good morning, Cat and Jack, and our star of the show, Jack, and everyone in chat. Hope everyone is having a great morning. Midnight Junior and Snowflake are in bed. Had to get Snowflake back to bed." Far Point Station, thank you. You know, you threw me for a loop when you were asking silly questions about Jack this morning, first off. But welcome and thanks for coming back. I just saw you outside earlier filming, honey, and wanted to check in. Thank you. Paul says, "Good morning to Michael, John. Sleep sound, little pup." Thank you, John. Wassa says, "I'm meeting with key members of the Oractus tomorrow to discuss to discuss Irish policy regarding certain parties." Oh no. Okay, Stitch says monkey is brother. Okay, so you're going with your mom, your mom's friend, and your brother to the NBA playoffs. Really? Wow. Michael says Midnight Junior is laying with me watching the Three Stooges on my tablet. She's very calm, and sleep to them was watching Wonka with Snowflake. Nice, Michael. Uh-oh, Carl. Uh-oh, Wassa. You are wrong, Wassa. It's not a peach house, but kind of close. I know what you're talking about. All right. I know you don't see me on your walks because you can't walk by my house. It's an impossibility. Paul says, "Stitch, your brother is your mom's friend?" And Wassa says, "I know, Carl." Hi, sweet Rosie. How are you? peach house. Rosie says, I'm all right. How are you? We are good. We have a little bit of a runny nose this morning, but other than that, we're really good. Stitch says, no, Paul. My mom and my mom's friend, my brother and me, also known as I'm the baby, gotta love me. Be quiet, Wassa. Michael says, my daughter Nikita's sleeping. She's not feeling well. She has the flu. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That stinks. Carl says I broke down yesterday. What happened, Carl? Stitch says one of my mom's friends from work is going to be with us. And Paul says, oh, okay, Stitch. Does your dad not like basketball, Stitch? Rosie says hello to everyone. We've missed you, Rosie. Always nice when you come back and visit. Yeah, Boss is also asking Carl, what do you mean by you broke down? Well, since Carl doesn't drive, I'm going to guess he meant emotionally. Michael says, we've been getting a cold front and had a day with snow flurries. No way. Y'all got to stop it with your snow flurries in the middle of, at the end of April. It's supposed to be April showers, not April flurries. I expect all of you to correct the situation. Paul says, is it a pro game, Stitch? Oh, Stitch says he goes to bed early. He goes to bed at 7 and the game is at 8:30. Does he get up real early is he still driving the school bus? I get that going to bed early. Oh, Carl says, never cried so much. But Ephraim, Ivy, and Tina M were there for me. I'm glad, Carl. See, Carl said there for me, and I added it without even reading it. Thank you very much, Wassa. Yeah, 4:30 in the morning. I get it. I've been falling asleep so early. Around 7. Like, I'll lay down and I'll be like, I'm just going to rest for a few minutes. And then I'm out for the night. The other night when I came home from work, I basically came home and went to bed and woke up still in my uniform. Hi, Daniel. He says, how are you doing? Uh, the sweet friend Jackie, we are doing really, really well. How about you, Daniel? How's your tummy this morning? Rosie says, sorry. I try to stay up to join your live stream, but I sleep without noticing, just like I was talking about. She says, I don't know why, but this never happened to me before, especially this many times. Rosie says, hi, Daniel. Everybody's asking you, Carl. Paul says, Carl, I hope you're doing better. And Rosie also says, Carl, are you better now? Oh, Daniel Kits, how are you this morning? And Carl says, and then Ephraim shared her cake with me from the United States. I love that, Carl. I'm glad she shared her cake with you. Rosie says, I'm all right, Daniel, and you? Hi, Marlon. How are you, my friend? Stitch says, and Paul, I would say pro. I don't think there's anything higher than the NBA. You're not sure how you're doing, Marlon? Paul says, nice, Stitch. Yes, very cool, Stitch. Um, well, I'm glad that I think A-Frame made it all better by sharing her cake with you, Carl. I have to admit, the past couple days, I've been really sleepy. Well, the sleepy for the past couple weeks, Rosie, and that was before I went back to work. But very emotional. Carl, I'm with you. I think there's something in the air, the planet alignment, or solar flares. I don't know what's going on, but I'm with you, Carl. I've had a lot of little crying bouts lately myself, but I feel like it's a good way to get all that nastiness out from inside. Just cry it out. Boss, this is Carl. That wasn't a euphemism, was it? That's too for all of us. Daniel says, I am doing good. I ate some fish sandwiches for supper, and yes, ma'am, I have been releasing gas. Why can some days I can say the word and some days I can't? Does this mean pat my belly? Are you going to see Kimmy today? I'm jealous. I would spend money to go hang out with Kimmy. Yes, I would, because she's so beautiful and so much fun. And she loves Jackie. Yes. Carl says, I have good days and bad days. Oh, Rosie. I love you, Rosie. You're so sweet. Um, and Stitch says, hey, I was just crying before this live stream. You know what? It's going to be really weird to say, but I'm glad you were crying. But you're okay now. I hope it was just releasing some pent up emotions there, Stitchy. Amanda says, well, look who's out here just relaxing. Did I read all this? No. Jack the pup is out. Poor thing. He's got it made, but he thinks no one loves him. We all get like this before a full moon. How much do people understand? Seriously, 100. Oh, Rosie's sending love to Paul. Thank you, Rosie. We're sending you love right back to Rosie. As a station. Hi, Barbara. Daniel says he's in his birthday suit. My sweet friend Jackie. Okay. When did your mom go on her trip, Daniel? And Rosie says, Amanda, hello. And Paul is sending love back to Rosie. Amanda says, hey, Paul, I think it's the full moon coming. I don't know. Oh, I get emotional and grumpy. LOL. Didn't we just have a new moon? So it'll be a while for a full moon. Is that correct or no? I don't know everything. I don't know anything. Stitch says yes. Sometimes I cry for no reason. Those are the good cries. Even though we question it, we're like, why the heck am I crying? Those are the good ones because you don't know why and it's just some stuck energy. You got to get it out. I'm with you, sister. I cry for no reason sometimes too, or reasons I don't understand. Oh, today had a reason though. Okay. I hate when I go off talking and think I know what I'm talking about and then I'm corrected. Well, it wasn't that. It puts me right in my place. I appreciate that. Daniel says to Rosie, I am doing good, just relaxing. And Amanda says, hey, Wassa. And Paul says, sending love to you, Amanda. Oh, I missed it. She said, hey, Paul, I think it's the full moon coming. I read that. Yes. Daniel says, Friday they leave. Uh-oh. Right around the corner. What's today? Wednesday? Hi, good morning, Toy Pups. I saw you came by last night on the overnight live stream. Thank you. Sounded like somebody was having a bit of a lover's quarrel. It was interesting. Amanda says, "Ah, Paul, I study at least 7 hours a day on the moon and history. Just love studying facts." Nice. Rosie is like Daniel and she's covering her eyes. And she says, "Hi, pup." And Paul says, "Wow, Amanda. Yeah, really. That's wonderful. To spend so much time learning stuff, no matter what age, that's great." I would say Jack is very relaxed now. Wassa says, "Hey, toy pups. Hey, toy pups. Tiger King is blocked from your channel." Sorry. Your stream went haywire earlier. I tried to come back a number of times. And Stitch says, "Ugh, stupid allergies." I agree. Rosie says, "Daniel, can I have a warning next time?" LOL. You see Daniel in the room and you mind that's your warning. That's all you need. Amanda says, I used to worse, but my life took a big dive, so it's been challenging." Daniel says to Amanda, "My mom also got me some food and some good snacks and salmon and chicken." Rosie says, "I'll take notes on that, cat." Paul says, "Are you okay today, Amanda?" Carl says, "I'm planning my next live stream." Well, I hope it's in the next 2 days so I get to catch up with you, Carl. There's no telling what's going on when I'm at work. I can't promise anything. Stitch says, "I hate studying, but I need to later today because you test next week." What are you testing? What is the subject you're testing on next week? Daniel says, "Rosie, okay. I'm going to get a drink and some popcorn." Stitch, Rosie says Stitch for PSSA, right? And Rosie says, "I have keystones." I don't know what that is. Paul says, "I panic when learning is involved, but I know why." I think Rosie is homeschool, does homeschool too, Stitch. So I think maybe her testing is called something like your that. I would guess. Paul, um, so would it involve a school thing? A teacher was involved in whatever happened to you? Ah, I got you. Stitch says, "I do state test." Well, Paul, how did you learn? This has nothing to do with school. Where did you learn to do the carvings? Did somebody show you, or did you just pick it up all by yourself? Daniel says, "I got some new kind of popcorn I told my mom to get. What is it? And how is it? Have you tried it yet?" Okay. These are pretty close. Good morning, sweet Sarah Washington. How are you? Rosie says PSSA testing for 8th grade and under. Keystone is for 9, 10, 11, and 12th grade. Oh, Daniel says to Rosie, feel better. Rosie says, ugh. Amanda says history is my favorite. Old time artist, painting oils. By the way, all my stuff got ruined. Lots of money invested. Arizona damaged my artwork and elements of heat. I'm devastated. I'm so sorry, Amanda. Toy Pups is sending love. Thank you, Toy Pups. Did you hear what Wassa said, Toy Pups? Oh, okay. She is off to bed. And Sarah says, OJ, but do you mean okay? Stitch says, I do reading next week, so I'm just going to read a book about online school. I should ace the test if I read a book. I'm very confused. And Sarah says, okay. Rosie says, I have biology and literature. Paul says, no. I would climb trees when I was a kid, and I would whittle, and I kind of figured it out. Wow. Toy Pup says, Jack is completely in La La Land. And hearing you, Cat, LOL. Amanda says, my jewelry is missing. Lots going on. I'm sorry, Amanda. Sarah says, did someone say popcorn? Yes, Daniel got some new popcorn, but he has not told us what kind of popcorn yet. What is new and special and different about it? Rosie says, I don't know what I did to myself. What do you mean? About going back to school? In the way that you went back to school? And Paula's sending poor sweet Amanda some love. And Rosie says hello to Sarah. Sarah says, try Garrett. I don't know what that is. Oh, is that a popcorn? Stitch says popcorn. Do you like popcorn, Stitchy? I had a friend who showed me put hot sauce. Oh, if you're getting a bag of popcorn, take the bag when it's really hot and squirt some hot sauce in it and shake it up, and then squirt some more hot sauce and shake it up. Oh, it's so good. Not spicy hot sauce, just maybe some Louisiana hot sauce. So good. Yummy, yummy. Rosie says, yeah, I hate testing. Oh, I see. I know it stresses everybody out, but once it's over, it's like, phew, big breath of relief. Stitch says, I'm so flipping behind on schoolwork, but I'm overwhelmed and stressed. Well, tonight you get to go and just relax and have a great time and not think about it. And Paul says, I've done that with Louisiana hot sauce. Oh, it's so good. I'm so sorry I didn't learn about it until later in life because it is yummy. Carl says, Irish kids do more exams than American kids. Okay. Stitch says, yes, I got some more popcorn at the store 2 days ago. I haven't bought popcorn in a while. Amanda says, no popcorn, old vintage jewelry. It's bad. I'm so tired. I can't sleep yet. I sleep minutes. And Paul says, I agree. Paul says you're probably right, Carl. Hey, Carl, do you know when you're going to go live? And what's today? Are you working today? Carl, do you work? Do you still go to work? Amanda says, I forgot. Or do you forget when you completely relax? Caitlin, all pro guttering. Hello, my friend. I've been missing you. I've been asking for you. We have somebody come in here and her name is Caitlin. And I'm like, are you my all pro gutter, Caitlin? And they're not. But I'm glad you're here. Carl says, I work 5 days a week. Okay. I didn't know. You never really talk about work. And you used to tell me you were on the bus. You'd be like, I'm on the bus with Dina. I'm going to work. I don't know who Dina is. I made that up. But and Rosie says, Stitch, do one by one and don't stress yourself. But when you get work, try to do it right away so you don't worry. And if you need help or anything, I'm here to help. Aw. Stitch, isn't your mom a teacher? Am I wrong on that? I know what your dad does, but I'm a bit confused about your mom. Amanda says, Jack, don't give a carrot right now. LOL. Paul says, why is cursive writing not taught anymore? Is it not? I thought they taught us that, started to teach us that in, what, 4th grade? Paul says, why is cursive writing not taught anymore? I don't know. I wonder. I already read that. And Caitlin at All Pro Guttering says, we went to Washington, D.C. a few days ago, and it was so fun. Did you go with family or did you go with school? Stitch says, thank you, Rosie. And Paul says, it's not taught here. And Stitch says, yes, my mother is a 4th grade teacher. Perfect. So does your mom teach spelling? Now, what subject does your mom teach? Or does she teach all of them? Sandra Jones, good morning. The dog is knocked out. He sure is. I just looked. Carl says Irish kids do exams for the month of June. Well, you're probably right. They do harder tests, more tests, and probably a lot smarter. Except for my girls here. They're smarter than everybody in Ireland. Sorry, Carl. Stitch says she teaches all. So do you know if handwriting or cursive is taught in 4th grade? Or maybe you could ask your mom, is cursive writing still being taught in school? And she is in the Midwest. Oh, Caitlin says we homeschool, and I went with family. Nice. One other homeschooler. See, my girls who are homeschooled are awesome. Stitch says yes, it is here. Okay, still taught there. Interesting, Paul. Paul, I think because, no, never mind. I don't know. Interesting. Carl, thank you. Carl says, you're wrong, Cat. Gosh, yes. Thank you for keeping me in line, Carl. I am often wrong. But do you want to tell me what I'm wrong about? Amanda says cursive writing. I'm asking my grandchildren. I think they're writing cursive. I'm not sure. Oh my gosh, schools are terrible. Laptops and watching Cardi B and those vulgar people, they know more than me. LOL. It's just a different world out there, Amanda. Rosie says, I start testing in May. I believe the 19th and 21st. I have to make sure, but so you know, around this time I will be studying. So if I don't join in May and around the end of April, that's why. Okay. Stitch says she brings home extra pages of cursive for me. And Caitlin says, oh, and my sister's baby is 6 weeks and she's getting so big. Oh, I love that. Yay. Carl says there is no homeschooling here. Oh, okay. Rosie says, why, Carl? Maybe they don't offer it in Ireland. Rosie says, I'll try to join, but if I can't, sorry in advance. That's okay. That's fine, Rosie. I have gotten used to Rosie. Hang out for a bit and then retract and go back into her little world and then come back out occasionally and then go back into her world. So I generally know Rosie's okay. And Stitch says her testing is the 16th and 29th. Oh, the 29th is when I go to the dentist for my big appointment that I don't have a ride for yet. I'm trying to decide, do I want to ask somebody I barely know at work or do I want to call up my ex? Either way, it's not very appetizing. It's not something I really want to do either way. Hello, Joyce. How are you? Good morning. Amanda says, nope, my grandchildren tell me what happens. Oh, are you mortified? What sex education? They tell everything. I almost had an attack. Oh no. It's definitely a different world, Amanda. Oh, Sarah's giving us a nice idea. She says you can order a butter, cheese, and caramel mix. 2 gallon. What do you do with that, Sarah? Okay. Dana says, I'm back. I got some popcorn, Indiana sweet and salty kettle corn, and I got a snack pack of chocolate pudding. Ooh, I've been wanting pudding lately. I've been wanting anything sweet. Anything. I will take anything sweet. 2 gallon. You eat it, Sarah says. Okay. Huh, I've never heard of that. Kettle corn. Sweet and salty kettle corn. I'm trying to remember the last time I had sweet and salty kettle corn. It's so good. Sounds good, Daniel. Rosie says, LOL. It's not like I want to not watch, but it's either I'm asleep because I'm tired or family problems or something with school. That's why I don't join. Otherwise, I can be here 24/7. Oh, Daniel says, and an ice cold drink. And I will share. That is so nice of you, Daniel. Paul says, just look in the mirror, LOL. Why are we looking in the mirror? We don't want to look in the mirror. It's too early. We haven't done anything with our face. It's too much. It's too much. It's a popcorn. Okay, Sarah, I get it. Amanda says, I was thinking let's all post screenshots of ourselves and our furries. Well, someday you can see Ginger, guys. How do we do it, Kat? Oh, I wish I could. tell you, Sarah. I mean, Amanda. Rosie says, ugh. No Uggs, Rosie. And family comes first. You know, it's okay. You're allowed to have a personal life. We are just your pocket people. Are you watching us on a phone, Rosie? Dana says, be back. I need to take a picture. Okay. Carl says, you don't watch me, Rosie, but JP and the two Tinas do. Okay, Carl. Stitch says, I'm going to head out to go to bed. Sasha is breathing in my ear, waiting for me to roll over and snuggle her. Oh, yes, get some sleep. You got a big day ahead of you. I'm so excited for you, Stitchy. Have so much fun. And you're the baby, so I've got to love you. And I do. Right? Paul says something sweet. I know, I have to keep it out of my house. I did. I gave in and I had two little Debbies last week at work. I felt so ashamed. Amanda says I had to quit eating. Oh, Amanda, you can't quit eating. Rosie says, Carl, I really don't have time. I tried, but there's so much. I don't know where to go or what to do. Rosie, you have to take care of yourself first. And if Carl doesn't understand, Carl will just have to not understand. But everybody else understands. She says, yes, my phone. So my point is, we are just your pocket people. You stick your pocket in your phone, but the people in your life that you can touch and hold and talk to face are the people that are you should be with overall. So never feel guilty. Don't feel bad. Amanda says, okay, let's just go to our links, I guess. But too many links, and I'm scared of virus on my phone. It's brand new. Grumpy Sapper's here. Hello, Grumpy Sapper. He says hi to Stitchy, who's going to sleep. He's saying hi to everybody, Paul. How are you, Grumpy Sapper? Rosie says, you guys aren't pocket people. You guys are like second family to me. I feel the same, Rosie, but I just want you to know it's okay if you don't show up. It's okay if you're there for your family IRL. Good morning, William. God made an example of me is our friend William. Red Peppa, hello, good morning. Paul says, hi, Grumpy. And Grumpy says hello to Amanda. And he says, I am good, thanks. Absolutely spiffing, lol. Is spiffing like spiffy? Rosie says, no, to be honest, I'd rather been here. Aw, I'd rather be here than listen to family problems. Red Peppa says, critters are resting well. Critter is resting. He is resting well. He is snoring. He's also snoring over here. Spiffing is a happy mood. Okay. Thank you for teaching me that. Oh no. Grumpy Sapper says hello to Carl. No, I can't. Hang on. All right. Grumpy Sapper made me laugh, and I was choking on my own mucus over here. Oh, baby picture of Wassa. I do want to see. Is this a joke or is it for real? Whatever. Whatever, Wassa. I'm never clicking on any of your like links again. Daniel says, I am back. I got a couple of pictures. Well, welcome back. I am okay, Rosie. Thank you. Amanda says, usually I'd be cooking anything. Well, I had to slow down. Daniel is crying. Why are you crying, Daniel? He said hi. He says, I am back. I got a couple of pictures, said hi, and crying. Wassa says, ugh, I know how that can be with allergies. I take another shot today, so I'm not complaining. Wassa says, no, Cat, keep playing a second. My baby pick is in there. I've already gotten rid of it. I don't trust you. Daniel says, my snacks are yummy. I am jealous. Amanda says, I'm going back to salads and tomato soup. Ew. Why would you do that? I'm kidding. Rosie says, why, Amanda? Because Amanda's really tiny and she thinks she's gained a little weight and has a little muffin top. And I told her muffin tops are okay because muffins are yummy. Grumpy Sapper says to Carl, you are not broken, mate. Stand up and chin up. Things could be so much worse. Trust me. Oh, okay. I missed that. Carl says, Grumpy was in the cave when I broke down yesterday. And that's why Grumpy Sapper says to Carl, you're not broken. Stand up and chin up. Things could be so much worse. Trust me. Thank you for that, Grumpy Sapper. Carl, I'm sorry you had a bad day yesterday or whatever it was. Wassa says it's like 20 to 30 seconds into the 1 minute. He says, all right, you're lost. Daniel said you were coughing. I was. Right? Grumpy says, I love muffins. Where are you, Wassa? Are you? I hope you're not lying to me. Shh. Oh, that is that. Oh my goodness, Wassa. That's not you. Wait a minute. I don't know if I believe you. All right, I'm gonna leave it up and I'll look at it later. There's too many faces in there. Oh, okay. I'm rereading stuff. Hang on. Here we go. Yes, that's a photo of me, 1976. You look you look slightly how can I say this, ethnic in that picture, which is why I did not know if it really was you. But I have to say, I really have not seen a really good picture of what you look like now. All right, what did I miss? Grumpy Sapper says, I have been working on building a streaming platform these past couple of days. I think it would be good for musicians and live streamers. Really? You're building your own program? Rosie says, Was, you were born in 1976. You would not know that, would you? You would not have imagined that. Uh, Amanda says, it's because of sugary intake. I can't. I have major diabetes. I didn't want to say it, guys, but cat's out of the bag. Oh well, we have to eat. We have to eat constantly. Our sugar goes high. Hmm. Okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Daniel says this popcorn bag is noisy. I bet. Carl says, I'm glad people don't have my email. Okay, Carl. Oh no, Rosie says my mom is born that year too, Wasa. Daddy. Oh my goodness. Hello, Lady Sky. Amanda says, who's born in 1976? Wasa. She says, bicentennial year. I graduated. What? Wow, interesting. Paul says, Wasa was a child model as well. Add it to the list. Okie doke, I will. Add it to the list. Wasa says, I'm part Italian and part Kuwaiti, so I can get pretty dark. I always got really dark in the summer. Okay, that makes sense. Kwakuti? I don't know what that is, but I definitely, maybe it's the Italian that's the dark in your baby picture. My oldest daughter is Italian, and she um, tends to be dark if she gets in the sun too. But she's naturally got dark features. Lady Sky says 18 days till Mother's Day for the USA. Thank you. Wasa says, Paul, I should have been. Selena girl, a dog's life, right? Oh, my butt. Stop hanging your butt out there, cat. Rude. Grumpy Sapper says to Amanda, I'm a 69 baby. I think Cat is too. No, stop that, Grumpy Sapper. No, we are not friends anymore. You are banned forever. Forever. Wow. Okay. Kwaikuri Poodle, I can't say it correctly, is Native American. I have made, it doesn't matter if you misspelled it, I'm going to missay it. uh, Paul says, I'm half Northern Italian, lighter skin. And Grumpy Sapper says, I've got cat laughing twice. No, you did. Wasa says, cat's going to butcher the chat. Yesterday it was my dog was old, and today cat's old. And people wonder why I go around crying out of nowhere. Daniel says, OMG, this sweet and salty popcorn is fire. everyone. And Grumpy Sapper says, I would rather have a bottle in front of me than a frontal lobotomy. Sounds about right to me. Paul says, wow. Capango, hello. Capango vlog is here. Hello, my beautiful friend. Thank you for the like. Dana says, you're not old, you're beautiful, and you're just 23. Oh, well, thank you. I definitely don't want to be 23 again. But thank you for that, Daniel. That was very sweet. Oh, my goodness. Amanda says, well, we know our fashions. Our era was Vietnam era and Woodstock. And yes, we traveled in a Volkswagen bus with peace signs and was painted orange. It was fun. Wow. Wow, Amanda, that's amazing. Wassa says, nice, Paul. My best friend was a WAP. I'd be a Dago. My family is Calibrasian. Daniel says, kiss and hug from Daniel. Thank you, Daniel. Grumpy Sapper says, Cat, did you ever read the Amazon review of Beat Hair Removal Cream? If not, I will post the link and you have to read it to everyone without laughing. Okay, yes. Ruby, is it Ruby? Hello, good morning. Carl says, goodbye. I'm lost here. Goodbye, Carl. Have a wonderful day. We love you and I love you. And let us know when you go live again. Lady Sky says, I'm English, Irish, Scottish, Cherokee, Indian, French, and German. So you're basically just a mutt. I'm just playing. I think we're all basically just mutts in the end. But I like mutts. Rosie says, Cat, you wouldn't want to be 23 again? No way, man. No, thank you. Paul says, awesome, Amanda. Rosie says, Carl, I'm lost too, but I'll find myself later. Amanda says, bye, Carl. Lady Sky says, LOL, yeah. And Paul says, you have the best of everything, Amanda. Oh, she said, we put bell-bottom jeans. I don't know what the rest of that is. It doesn't look good. Daniel says, someone please keep this popcorn away from my hands. It's that good, huh? My sweet friend Jackie. Well, I'm glad it's good. Jack is over here whining now. Huh. Wassa says, when my dad and his wife were in southern Italy, they said they kept seeing twins of mine all over the place, sitting outside of cafes and even just hanging on the street to pick up tourist women. That's a thing, huh? I bet it is a thing. Italian men, let me tell you. Daniel says, damn, it's so good. That's what I said too, Italian men. Amanda says Lois is missing and we made bracelets with missing in action MIA bracelets. I hope Lois comes back. I hope I didn't upset her because I got upset because she called Jack a senior dog. It was just a day for me. It was nothing she did. I hope she does come back. Amanda says, yep, I read that. And Grumpy Sepper says, okay, Cat, read this aloud. All right. I don't have to have an account, right? I can just read it. Okay. Men's hilarious Veet hair removal cream experience. This is long. It says bit long, but well worth the read. This is an actual customer review from a man on Amazon UK after using Beat hair removal cream for men. I actually had tears rolling down my face while reading it. So funny. Huh. Where is he putting this? I don't know, Grumpy Sapper. I don't know. Dana says, honey, you need this, Jackie. I do need it. He's putting it where I think he's putting it, right? I don't know if I can read that out here. But the link is there. Wasa. Um, he says just read it. It's way too long, I think. Amanda says heritage. I'm Italian, half guys, a mutt. My father is a mutt. My father is. My mother is Hispanic. Nice mix, Amanda. Wasa says my Italian side of the family is crazy. The men are all just unrepentant womanizers, but when they completely oppress and repress the females in the family because they know what kind of dirt they do. Huh. Amanda says, what's the temperature in Tennessee? I'm not sure, Amanda. Not too cold. We've been out once this morning. 46, but it's going to be 75. So it's pretty mild, Amanda. Wasa says women. Oh, the dirt they do to women. Paul says, dang, Wasa. I bet you Wasa has kind of bragged on himself lately, so it may have rubbed off. Grumpy Sapper says it's not rude. I got that. It's just so long and I miss so much chat. Rosie says, I'm so confused. Me too, Rosie. Mr. Possessive says, oh no, not hair removal cream for men. Yes. Daniel says, next time you are at Walmart, you pick up a bag of this popcorn, Jackie. Okay, I hope I never get sent to Walmart again, but okay. Rosie says, hi, mister, and Grumpy Sapper says, put a 1 in the chat if you think Cat should read it. Wasa says, that's fine. No need to read it out loud. Wah, wah. Amanda says, well, my father had 14 kids from different women. Tell me about it. Wow, Amanda. Grumpy Sapper says, every time I read it, I can't stop giggling. I will read it, the whole thing on my own. Amanda says, Mr. Possessive. Hello. Wassa says, I ragged on myself. I didn't realize. Yes. I think you said something about maybe my daughter. Was she looking for a boyfriend or something? Or maybe somewhere along those lines. I'm not quite sure. Something along those lines, Wassa. Mr. Possessive says, I have had too many terrible experiences with those creams. Oof. And I'm getting the chills just thinking about that. Rosie says 14. What's 14, Rosie? Darn it. Daniel says yes. It's because you need this popcorn in your life. Grumpy Sapper says, I want feedback, Cat. I will give it to you. If it's really good, I'll share it on my post and I will tag you. Lady Sky says it's 14 degrees Celsius, 57 degrees Fahrenheit here currently in Nashville, Tennessee. Nice. How warm is it going to get today for you? Lady Sky? Oh, Amanda said oh, that's what it was. Rosie was responding to Amanda's dad fathering 14 kids. Wassa says, no, I said nothing about your daughter. Okay. Okay, Wassa, but how would I know? Tell me, how would I know that you just told on yourself by telling me a little bit about the men in your family? How would I know that? And Lady Sky says 82. Okay, a little bit warmer than us. For the high today, we're 76. Thank goodness. Mr. Possessive says, luckily I don't do it in such a way to have 14 kids, otherwise you never know. LOL. Right? Amanda says, Italians are like movies. I shall know and crazy much, always drama. We used to get ugly about 23 years ago while Mom was living. She's passed away. All stopped, but we continued till I walked away. Amanda has lived a life. You know, we talk about Wassa and Wassa needing to write a book. I think Amanda is the one who needs to write her memoirs. Have you ever thought about writing down your life? All the wonderful things that have happened and all the things you have seen, Amanda? Grumpy Sapper says Wassa is criminal, but I like him. LOL. Wassa, he says, how would you know what now? I'm confused. You just said you told on yourself, right? I'm about to give up. Wassa says, how would you know what? I'm confused. Yes. And Amanda says, it's wild partying. Rosie says, if my mom had the other 4 kids, it would be 12 kids for us, and I wouldn't be the youngest. That's a lot of kids that happens, so I'm sorry about that for her, Rosie. Paul says, Amanda, do we need to start a board for you? And Mr. Possessive says, Wassa being a criminal makes me like him more. Wassa says, no, I said nothing like that. Okay, maybe I misunderstood. Let's look. Wassa says, I've ragged on myself. I didn't realize. And I thought you said that in reply to me saying something about you being like the men in your family who are all just unrepentant womanizers. Amanda says, yes, I've seen so much and lived the best experiences. Or I thought you said I've been ragging on myself. Rosie says, "Why are you sorry she didn't want more kids?" Oh, okay, I just didn't know if it was considered a loss for her or what. That's why. Paul says, "Amanda, do yes," and Amanda said, "Probably, Paul." Wassa says, "I'm not a criminal. Our government, it's our government that makes the laws is criminal." Oh, our government that makes the laws is criminal. Wassa, it is no fun having to be careful with every word I say. I just want you to know I am doing this under complete protest. There, there, I got it out of my system. Amanda says, oh, Grumpy says to Amanda, "I want to know the baddest things. I want to know all the mischief you got up to." Wassa says, "I'm a freedom fighter. I guess all freedom fighters are technically criminals." You know, I asked a question last night in my overnight stream. What would change if you changed the way you looked at your life or a situation, which means you'd have the same life, but maybe a different view on it? And Wassa is the perfect example. You could look at Wassa and say one thing, but Wassa looks at it and says another thing from his perspective. I love it. Wassa's, I read that. And Paul says, "I've had crazy things happen to me, but I really haven't lived." It's like Wassa, a girl who's totally in love with you would say, "But mom, he's a freedom fighter." And her mom would say, "He's a criminal." I'm having this whole thing go through my mind right now. Paul says, "I've had crazy things happen to me, but I really haven't lived." Amanda says, "Oh, yes, all our men and family cheating while we say hello. How's Hilda doing?" Dana says, "I'm getting some smoke. It's almost 4:20. You better hurry up." Mr. Possessive says, "OMG, Cat's so feisty today." Amanda said, "Today? What do you mean? You don't know me very well." Like I said, it's easy to act one way for 2 hours. You don't really know somebody if you just spend 2 hours with them during a day. Amanda says, "Paul, you're living," and "Nope, I'll be quiet." Wassa says, "Doing what, Cat? I think this is a giant misunderstanding. I was never upset, irked, or nothing." Oh, when I said I'm about, yes, ad-libbing. I'm trying to be very careful when I read mostly what you say. I don't want to change any words, so I can't be accused of ad-libbing. Grumpy Sapper says, "We should play Truth or Dare." No way. That makes me very nervous. William says, "Hi, William." He says, "Cat, from that scenario, how does one view urine as rain knowing it is not?" William, what I can say is if you go around expecting to be pissed on all the time, you're going to be. Does that make a little sense? It's all in your view. And I'm not blaming somebody for expecting to get peed on all the time. I'm saying you're based on your past experience is how we treat life. That's how we go about everything we see today is based on our past experiences. What if we didn't have a past? What if we changed the way we thought because we changed the way we think about a past? It's all in your perspective. Amanda says, no truth or dare. I have lots on my plates. You people would run. Exactly, Amanda. I would be too scared. Rosie says, that sounds about right with what happened to me, but it was my dad. And she's laughing. And says, to Amanda, drama, question mark. I think I missed exactly what you were referring to about your dad, Rosie. Mr. Possessive says, well, you're feisty every day, but whatever you're protesting about, meow, I'm down, whatever it is. Wassa was trying to keep me down, trying to cage me and make me follow things line by line, line by line. And I was rebelling a little bit about it. You can't make me. Okay, fine, I'll try. Grumpy Sapper says, who here has played spin the bottle properly? Not me. Amanda says, well, yes, we had two for entertainment. Amanda, you tell us all sorts of little stories here and there to let us know you have had a seriously exciting and dramatic life. Mr. Possessive says he played spin the bottle. And Wassa says, oh, okay, now I get it. And Rosie says, I never played it, Grumpy. I'm innocent. I think I'm innocent too. Well, at least I never played spin the bottle. Wassa says, Grumpy, that makes me extremely nervous in this crowd as well. The truth or dare? Grumpy Sapper says we need a private group. And Paul says, okay, mister, I'm an open book. And Mr. Percent, yeah, some people like that. I've heard that. Wassa says this entire chat stream tonight has spun into orbit. Amanda says fathers dance and we would try to be normal. And Wassa says I no longer have any idea what anyone is talking about. Me either. Amanda. Amanda says I remember hiding my father. Radical. Wow. Rosie says LOL. It's best I don't explain about the dad thing. Okay. Mr. Possessive says, oh, Wassa, you know, you can't clip her wings. He says, oh, wow, I was a pressing cat. Thank you for finally realizing what you were doing to me. It was so hard to hold it in. William says, but objectively, I don't. And even if I disassociate and it happens to me, how do I not recognize it for what it is? It won't enrage me. There isn't much I can do about it given the circumstances. William, I think you said objectively, I don't expect the world to piss on me. Is that what you're saying? You don't? Because I think you need to go back and read some of the things you write and maybe look at it from new eyes. Paul says, I've never have. You've never played spin the bottle. Yes? Mr. Possessive says, should we all play spin the bottle? No. Rosie says, Cat, are you sure you're innocent? I don't think the other side of you will agree. I don't know what you're on about, Rosie. Amanda says, heritage took us to open up the Pandora boxes. What is heritage? Grumpy Sapper says, I woke up with 4 women once after being knocked unconscious in a motorcycle accident. They were nurses. Aw, but sadly it was in hospital and the fantasy was ruined. Amanda says her closet's under the bed. And Paul says, yes, spin the bottle. Boss says, goodness, take it easy, Cat. Claws are out. Rosie says, LOL, Cat acting all innocent. I am innocent. I am perfectly holy, innocent, and safe. Amanda says, too bad life is short. Now everyone is gone and I took a different direction. Amanda, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here to represent and to tell us fun stories. Mr. Possessive says, Paul, let's do it. Grumpy Sapper says to Rosie, I know, right? I was innocent until about, I don't know where I went off the rails, but it wasn't for long. And all of that is just a story. Like history, it's just a story. The Grumpy Sapper says everything was innocent until I arrived in the chat. Amanda says, Cat, what you done choirs at church or married for years? I'm very confused. Grumpy Sapper says, Cat, do you have things stored away? No, I don't know what that means either. Paul says, at what age do people play spin the bottle? That's a good question. Mr. Possessive says, I can make a chat go into the gutter real quick, but I try to behave here. Oh, thank you, I appreciate that. Grumpy Sapper says strip poker too. Oh no. Rosie says, Paul, 10. You're saying 10 years old you start to play it? Wassa says, Mr. Wright. Teens. Oh, teens. Wassa says 12, 14. And Amanda says, oh, Cat, you have an innocent life? I just have a life. Grumpy Sapper says, I am a veteran SF and have been around a bot. Do you mean to say what you said? I mean, I could be quite literal and not ad lib, but I think if you said, I'm a veteran street fighter and I've been around a lot, that would be better. But I don't know if that's what you're saying. I've been around a bit. What is SF though? Mr. Possessive says, Grumpy asking me to strip. I'll get my cuffs and bow tie. Oh, strip poker, that's right. Be careful what you wish for. Amanda says, maybe Tennessee is different. It's different, all right. If you come from California or New York or even Florida like I did and come to Tennessee, you will find out how different Tennessee is. It's a lot different as far as being behind the times. Rosie says, nope, LOL. I really want to see Kat's bad side, the non-innocent. You know, sometimes she comes out here. And she's not always so nice. I'm not sure how I feel about her. Special Forces, thank you. See, I know nothing, Grumpy Fapper. Grumpy Fapper. Grumpy Sapper. What time is it? Where is Daniel? Mr. Possessive says, I think Tennessee is cute. I think Tennessee, you've got to be careful, especially somebody who is from the LGBTQ community, because my point about Tennessee is they are behind in times. They are not so extremely accepting and open minded here as they are everywhere else. Um, that's not everybody, but it's, we're in the Bible Belt. Wassa says, oh, thank goodness. Special forces. I was anxious about you asking that question, Kat. Be careful. Grumpy Sapper says, I think Kat may have a naughty side. I think we all do. Yes. Rosie says, well, where have I been when she came out? Oh, there's Daniel. He says, I got another drink. Rosie says she does, Grumpy, and who doesn't? That's right. We all do. Mr. Possessive says, oh, I definitely know about that. I've seen the laws in Tennessee is working on, but I also know there's queer people there and women and other people who need love and recognition, so that's my approach. I feel like, never mind. I feel like I'd be tooting my own horn if I said it. I feel like I'm here for a reason. That's what I wanted to say. Because sometimes I ask myself, why am I still here in Tennessee? Nothing's holding me here. Nothing. I could sell my house and go move down in Florida and be with my kids. Why am I still here? Amanda says, I remember you told us you were married with your girl's father. Oh my God, I get put in jail. They would be taking me to jail. I have a friend like you I'm meeting tomorrow. I traveled with the Boone's farm. Grumpy Sapper says, Kat, did you listen to Pink Floyd's cover song? To your covers? No, I haven't. I've been working. I haven't been doing much reaching out lately. But I will. There you go. Okay. I will bring it up, Grumpy Sapper. Um, and Mr. Possessive says, you definitely are, Cat. You're needed there. We'll see. Daniel Daniel says, I missed a comment. Yep, I do that. Ooh, I like the way it looks. All right, I've got it up. And I missed something from Daniel. Oops. Oh, I was saying I'm still trying to fix. I had to put some fresh water in it. Have you ever tried like putting something flavored in it? Like we used to put alcohol in it, flavored alcohol, and it would make it taste really good, yummy. But I guess I wouldn't suggest alcohol. But have you ever put any flavored water in there to see how it would taste? Oh my gosh, can you hear my stomach? Rapper, how are you? It's good to see you. Amanda says, I think people from Tennessee are behind much because they come to my bar, our big bar, Tennessee. We're like amazed. Daniel says, I was saying, I got that. Ruby Sapper says, no problem if you want to play it. Mr. Possessive says, rapper, nah. Wassa says, no rapper. Welcome in this evening, buddy. Mr. Possessive says, would you put alcohol in? A bong. Rosie says, rapper, he didn't do anything. I think Rapper just needs some attention today. You know how Rapper is. Don't take it personally, Daniel. Icy cold white wine in a bong is really nice. Exactly. Paul says, I did hear that, Cat. Did you? Rapper says, okay, Rapper. Mr. Possessor says yes. He agrees. I've never tried the white wine and ice cold. That does sound really, really good. Wasa says, what else is happening with you today, Rapper? How are you? What have you been up to? Where have you been today? Tell us about what's going on in the great big world of Rapper. Amanda says they come from the Smoky Mountains and the Appalachian Mountains. We are like you. You don't know. They are like innocent people. We teach them. LOL. Yes, I could see that, Amanda. Daniel says, I don't know Rapper. I know, Daniel. It's okay. Rosie says, LOL, Wasa. And Daniel says, I'm sorry, Rapper. I still love you, though. Daniel, you're so darn sweet. Rapper just wants to be banned. Is that what's going on, Rapper? Do you want to be banned for the day? I hate doing that to you. Paul says, I've had alcoholic drinks but never tried anything other than that. I don't know how you would react. It would either hurt you with anxiety, or you'd really like it and it would calm you down. Daniel says, sorry, Rapper. I still love you though. Oh, but there, you can get like, have you ever tried any CBD? Any CBD? It's like without getting the side effects. It's supposed to be really, really, really helpful, I hear. Amanda says, Mr. Possessive is like me without Coachella. Aw, Jack must be cold. Mr. Possessive says, Paul, be careful with weed. Take my advice. If you do try it, I don't think he will. Do it either with friends or before bed. Yeah, I just wouldn't even suggest it for Paul. I would love to think that it would be wonderful and he'd just be so mellow and relaxed, but I like Paul the way he is. And what an artist he is. We wouldn't want to mess that up. Jackie is cold, he said. And finally I can go sit down and get ready to go. Finally. Rosie says, Rapper, are you okay? You don't want to let your feelings go out to others. You can talk about it, not say things to upset someone else. Thank you for that, Rosie. Paul says, I'm not going to try any of that. I didn't think he would. Amanda says, vodka, beer, yummy. Is that a thing? Are you saying two different things, or is that one thing? And Mr. Possessor says, I don't suggest it either, but if he ever did, I just want him informed. I agree. Thank you. Yes. Rapper says, hey, Rapper, what's up with you today? Mr. Possessor says, yeah, some people do it to be creative, but Paul's already creative enough. Exactly. Yep. Amanda says, they probably look at me funny a little. Funny at little bar like movies. And Rosie says, Rapper, only Pepsi allowed. Paul says, I wonder if I'm losing my creativity. Why do you think that? Mr. Possesses says, Paul, nah, creativity just comes in waves sometimes, but it never leaves you. What? Grumpy Sapper says, Cat, what is your tipple? Are you asking me questions on purpose because you know I won't know what it is? What is a tipple? A stipple and a tipple. Poor baby, he's cold. All right. I don't know what that is. Amanda says, weed is dangerous to me, very allergic. It's spooky to me, and I can't live alone now. Nobody here, so I must behave. Yes. Mr. Possessive says, but yeah, why do you think that, Paul? You guys are hilarious. Tipple is favorite drink. Cat, what is your tipple? What is my favorite drink? Oh, I don't have a name brand, but are we talking about alcohol? What are we talking about here? Rosie says, well, she has a very strong stance on it. And Paul says, my mind seems to be worried about things to the point of not being relaxed enough to create. Mm. I know Yogi's asked you, but have you considered or have you tried breath work? And not just breath work on the spot, but more breath work as a maintenance, 3 times a day, and then as needed, just like a medicine. Here it is. Paul says, Wasa says, you're silly, rapper. There's about zero chance it's going to happen. Amanda says, oh dear, Jack. Jack's biggie blanket has come to the rescue, yes. Unmod Was now. Oh no. Sometimes I wonder, rapper sounds quite like Carl, but different, right? Like, he sounds like Carl would sound if he wanted to be real bossy. Paul says, I have tried it. So, have you tried it before you met Yogi? But you're worrying about things while you do the breath work. It's crazy. Um, hey, rapper, I appreciate you being here. Now you're just being funny. Thank you for the laugh. Well, I think, breath work is a lot easier than meditation, but it does take practice. And, just trying it once can be helpful. But like I said, I think the big thing is in doing it as a maintenance. Rosie says, Cat, I thought the same thing. That's why I asked, where is he from? Oh, no, I don't think so because he begged to be banned one day and we didn't want to do it. So he kept going until we did. Wassa says, yeah, Rapper does remind me very strongly of someone. Rapper, we just love you even more now. Rosie says, maybe his friend. One of the Tinas or JP. I don't know who any of these people are. I've never seen them. Daniel says, Broken, you were talking about. Yeah, she says it's evil and she thinks it should be totally illegal and it damages. She has a very different opinion on it, Daniel. And she feels like it damages people's lives. But I think somebody like Daniel, who has cerebral palsy, um, has a good point, especially with all the belly problems he has. Um, would you say it helps you with some of your symptoms, Daniel? Mr. Possessive says he kept going until Bridget came. You know she takes no prisoners. Yes. Well, she didn't. She kept waiting for me to say do it, I think. I was like, go ahead, Bridget. Watson says, go, Rapper. It's your birthday. Rosie says, Daniel, they were, so I gave my opinion. That's all. And Daniel says, I don't, and yes. Amanda says, I wish I could work and have money like I used to. Life takes you in different spins, directions, boring without cash. Nothing is worth it. But money buys anything. I know, sad. Oh gosh. Well, that's a completely different outlook than I expected from you, Amanda. I understand your situation now, but that was just an overall kind of sweeping statement. I have found in my life, I have been the most creative and the most happy, just happy in general with life, with myself, when I've been the most poor. I hate saying that. I think it keeps me from making a lot of money, but that is just the way I found my life has gone is I money does not make me happy. Yes, it buys stuff, lots of stuff, but it doesn't make me slow down and look at the wildflowers. Rosie says money doesn't buy people though. True people, I mean, agree. Mr. Possessive says more money, more problems. Grumpy says poverty makes you humble. That is true. Daniel had said to Rosie, you're fine, huh? No worries. And Paul sending love. We love you, Paul. And Mr. says, Rosie, so true. And Lady Sky says, hi, Mr. Possessive. Who is Annie? Rapper, who's Annie? Blasa says, that's okay, Rosie. Consider, maybe, the incredible numbers of people who were suffering without their plant medicine. Thank you. The alternatives many were stuck with previously were dangerous and ineffective. Yes. Hey, Daniel, every time, or not Daniel, Rapper, every time you say I mod somebody, I'm going to say I love you. I love you, Rapper. Daniel says, aw, Jackie, I really, really wish one, if I ever meet you, I would give you a hug. I would give you a hug too. And if I ever find myself over on that side of Tennessee again, I will definitely let you know, Daniel. Paul says, I've always been poor, so I wouldn't know. I lost it. So I wouldn't know what it's like to have a lot. Daniel says, you're amazing. You're amazing. Rosie says, who's Annie? Are you Carl? And are you Carl but spying on us? And Rapper says, yes. Amanda says, I love love, but money. Well, money, it's important. I wouldn't be stuck alone in Arizona. I wouldn't be stuck alone. Arizona is very, very expensive. I don't think people know. Don't come here without money. Oh, Paul says, but if love were money, I'm a zillionaire. And Daniel says, okay. And Mr. Possessive says, exactly, Paul. Rosie says, I feel like throwing up. Oh no, Rosie. All right. Lady Sky says, hey, rapper, I love you. Lady Sky says, sorry, I'm not talking much here, Cat&Jack. I've been lurking. It's okay, right, Lady Sky. I'm glad you're here. I thought you went back to sleep, actually. I think that's what you sometimes do, right? And Paul, Wassa says, I don't think it is Carl, actually, but there's a tiny bit of suspicion remaining. Look, Rapper says, I'm calling them. Are you calling Pepsi on me? Rapper, I love you. Amanda says, to me, money, I could buy me anything. How about a fan to to cool you? And yours broke. Did yours break 3 days ago? We missed it. Oh. Rosie says, Rapper, wait, are you actually Carl? Or you said, yes, you're spying on us. Which? Which one? Or both? He says, I'm Carl. Both. Okay. Carl would not admit it if Carl had gotten a second account. Rapper, I love you and I love you. Mr. Possessive says that Rapper is going to call his managing moderators. There's our friend Marlon still hanging out. Losses is not. I went to his channel. He's not Carl. Good one though, Rapper. Is he over? How does he? Do you get an overall impression of Rapper's age from his channel, Wassa? Wassa said you had me wondering for a sec. Yes, I would say so, Marlon. Rosie says, Amanda, can I ask you a question? Can money buy you friends or family? Or how about this? Would you sell your family for money? Trust me, money isn't worth anything besides you losing yourself from wanting it. Amanda says, you guys, I had stuff stolen. What the who is going on? Isn't funny. I've never been so low. If I could work, but I can't. I'm sorry. Hamilton St. Ives, good morning. He says, hello to my two favorite redheads. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, Hamilton. You too. Rosie says, yeah, Paul. If he gets to be too much, if you want to, I give you permission. Wassa says, if he's the guy in the picture, and he may not be, I'd say he's 26, 27. Hamilton says, ciao and good night. Same to you, Hamilton. Mr. Possessive says, that is profound, Rosie. And Paul says, are you sick, Rosie? You said you were feeling sick to your stomach. Daniel says, I'm fixing to get ready to get on tummy and pillow bottoms in the air and get ready for tonight night. Okay. Lady Sky says, Pillsbury cookie dough or Nestle Toll House cookie dough? There's your question, y'all. I don't know. I don't do either. Martha says, oh, I'd sell loads of my family, but I'd also give them away for free and would even pay you to take some of them off of me. No. Paul says yes. Just yes to Lady Sky. Good answer. But definitely not all, says Marlon. Rosie says, Paul, I don't know. I just felt it out of nowhere. Is it still there or is it gone? Right. Paul asked the same thing. And Wassa has no comment. Rapper, I love you and I love you. And Rapper, why don't you just say you want to be banned? And I'll just do it for you from now on if that's what you want. Marlon says he's never had any of them either, Lady Sky. Lady Sky says you've got to pick one though, Cat&Jack. It's a poll. Is that like it's a rule? Nope, you can't make me. It's not my poll. You know that little button? You know how you can click on the button that says close poll? That's what I always do. I refuse to answer. I just close it out. I'm like, you can't make me. Oh. Oh. Amanda says, I could buy a fan, go down like I'm used to it, especially when I had things were easier relieved, but old people, it's getting expensive. I understand. Amanda is coming from a place where, you know, she is limited income because of her age. So I can see how she's struggling, and I'm sorry for your struggle, Amanda. Mr. Possessive said, Rapper, someone said the same thing to me a few hours ago. I don't know what I can only imagine. Rapper, you're hilarious. Lady Sky, don't pay any attention to Rapper. But if you need to, you can do what you may. I give you permission. But I think he's hilarious. But definitely very familiar. Paul says, "Oh, Rosie, can you take something to settle your stomach?" He said, "I'm broken, Daddy." Oh, no. No, he did not. He really did. Oh, yeah, bye, Daniel. Sweet dreams. Paul says, bye, Daniel. And Paul says, right, he said something about her tummy. And Marlon says, well, the worst person of my immediate family passed a little over a year ago. So not as bad anymore, LOL, but still very much a mixed bag. Rapper says, can I get blocked? Yes. How long would you like to be blocked for, friend? Do you want 5, 10, or 24 hours? Just let me know. Marlon says, LOL, I usually just hear no. Lady Sky says, do you think Oreo cookies should be inside of a Reese's peanut butter cup candy bar? Cat&Jack, it's a new candy bar from Reese's out. I don't know. I've never heard of such a thing. You showed his message so I could see it. Oh, that's what. Yes, Rapper, you can get blocked, but tell me, how long do you want to get blocked for? Oops. Dana says to Lois, nope, to Rosie, I hope your tummy gets better and you get sleep. Oh, Mr. Possessive says, I had those to Lady Sky and they're good. Amanda says, never mind that. I lost it. Mr. Pacific says, Marlon knows what's up. Paul does not think it sounds good. Rosie says, no, Paul, I'll try to sleep. I'll try to sleep to try to stop. If I take medicine now, I won't wake up for school. Okay. Daniel says to Mr. Good night. Wasis' cat, don't even block him. It's channel interaction. Marlon says, let's give him 1 minute to see if he likes it. Daniel says to Wasa, night night. Mr. Possessive says 1 minute is such a tease. Lady Sky says, I've seen them in checkout at the grocery store. I want to try it out, but it feels like a weird combination. Yeah, I don't know. Paul says, I understand, Rosie. Paul says, agreed. Why ruin a perfectly good peanut butter cup? Mr. Possessive says, Lady Sky, there's also Oreos with Reese's peanut butter cream inside. Now that sounds good. Because I don't care for the cream inside the Oreos anymore. I feel like they did something to it. Dana says, Lady, go for it. Sounds yummy. Marlon says, well, the minute is over. Lady Sky says, I love Oreos and Reese's peanut butter cups, but together it's like, should I try it out or not every time I see them? Melissa says, plus you're enabling his odd fetish. Gross to think what he's doing now that he got what he wanted. Hey, listen, whatever he does over there and I don't know about, I'm okay with. Whatever. As long as you're not hurting anybody, go for it. Mr. Possessive says, it's so good, Cat. Highly recommend. I will try the Oreo cookie one. I don't know why it sounds different that way than the other way. Marlon says, why are you making me think of that? Mr. Possessive says, Wasa, I agree. He should at least be paying for this service. So rude. Oh, we're going to get it free somewhere. No, you didn't, Marlon. I don't understand why you think that. He says, I didn't do anything wrong, so if it makes everyone happy, oh well. Wasa says, okay, he's yelling your name over there, Cat. Huh? Where? What? I'm so confused. I am so confused. Marlon says next time we ask him to first super chat cat, can't super chat cat. Lady Sky says, how's the challenge coming along, Wasa? And Amanda says, welcome to the world with insomnia. Even before my babies, I've had insomnia forever. I'm so sad people can sleep. I'm actually jealous of people sleeping. I'll do anything to sleep with medicine. I'm sorry. I can only imagine. I know how important and how much I like sleep. So I really do feel badly for anybody who doesn't get the sleep that they need. Sweet dreams, Daniel. Lady Sky says pie making from Wasa. Wahoo. Marlon says, oh, what happened, Cat? I don't know. Oh, I got you now, Wasa. I don't care. I don't know. What I don't know won't hurt me. You're petting Lila. Is that what you were saying? Hi, Rapper. Welcome back. Mr. Possessive says, Amanda, I've always been a night owl too. I don't take sleep aids though. It's gotten better as I've gotten older. Amanda says, I'd rather sleep than eat. Marlon says, yes, Lila, you're petting Lila with your foot and she's flexing into it. Cats don't care. Rosie says, good night, Daniel. And Daniel says, Amanda, I struggle with insomnia too. Do you? I mean, you were monetized, Cat. Tell me about it. Gosh. Think I don't know? You didn't hear my demonetized song? I'm really good, rapper. How are you? Marlon says sleep. What's sleep? They flipped the switch, the lights went dim. Said my voice didn't quite fit in. Numbers felt like all the leaves. They don't know what I believe. I felt that sting, that quiet doubt. Like someone tried to count me out. But in the silence something grew. A deeper fire, steady and true. If values measured by time, then love was never worth my time. So I'm still showing up, still standing tall, even when the paycheck falls. Cat's the type to fall asleep in 2 seconds. Wake up, Cat. Rapper says, I'm sorry I'm late. Hey, you know what? Better late than never. Rapper, happy to see you. I am the type to fall asleep in 2 seconds. No issues there. I mean, occasionally. I'm just like everybody else. Occasionally I'll have an issue, but it's rare. Wassa says, you know what? Now that I think about it, there's probably a lot more of that going on than just rapper. How's it feel to be a symbol? I can't even say it. Oh. you know, um, I just have to say I'm used to it. Mr. Mr. Possessive says, I'm super into ASMR, so that helps relax me into sleep much quicker. Oh, nice. Rapper says, Was, what's up? Hi, Maddie. How are you? Mr. Possessive says, same, Cat. Amanda says, Mr. Possessive, exactly. Don't you know we study at night? I paint at night. Listen, don't you know inventions were built at night? All geniuses are crazy, literally. Albert Einstein. I think it's a fine line between genius and insanity. I don't know why that is. Hi, Maddie. He says, I'm good. Thank you, Kat. How are you? Yeah, we're really good. Thank you. We're taking Jack to the groomer in a few hours. Wassa says, feel better now, rapper? Excellent. He says, yup. Maddie at No Frills, No Mercy says, hello to everyone. And Mr. Possessive says, Amanda, amen to that. Albert Einstein, yes. Many artists, too. Or was that they were just suffering from whatever sexually transmitted disease that made them go crazy? Which one is it? I'm not sure. Paul says Amanda is very interesting. She sure is. She definitely should be writing a book. Marlon says, most of my inventions happen when I should be sleeping. Yeah, there you go. Mr. Possessive says, and Rosie, say hello to Maddie. Maddie says, I need the groomers. Whiskers getting overgrown. Your own whiskers? Rapper says, are there any girls here? I'm not sure. Maddie at No Frills No Mercy says to Rosie, says Rosie, Mary, Marlon, good morning. Paul says the group on here could all write books, I think. Wassa says rapper, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's Big Deborah right on the screen. There you go. There's your girl. Amanda says all of them go research. All of them go research. I'm in love with Albert and I mean, Albert Einstein only became the crazy bearded long haired guy towards the end of his life. Oh, Rapper, that's so sweet. Rosie says, I just noticed Debbie. When did she come back? A good week ago at least. Marlon says, maybe being a genius makes you slowly go insane. Maybe it's just too much knowledge. It's an overload. Hi, Bridget. Good morning. Wassa says, oh boy. Marlon says, did you find her again, Kat? No, she just came home. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about, Marlon. Shh. Rapper says, you're so beautiful, my dear. Aw. Mr. Possessive says, hey, Bridget. And Paul says, genius does come at cost. Interesting, Paul. Maddie at No Frills No Mercy says hello to Bridget. And Marlon says, I'm so happy for you, Wasa. Bridget says, hello, Possessive. Or Possessive, hi. And she says, hi, Maddie. And Marlon says, hi, Bridget. Go ahead, Bridget. Just go ahead. Maddie says, back to work. Love to all. Oh, bye, Maddie. Go back to work. Thank you for visiting us. We appreciate you. Lawson says, Marlon, shut it. No. Nope, I'm not. But Mr. Possessive says he knows being a genius is a hard. It's a burden. Paul says, dang, mister. Oh, she said Michael D'Angelo. Isn't that a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle? All right, go ahead. Wassa says, mister, I know that burden well. Y'all are hilarious. Paul says, wow. Bridget says, no need for rude, racist people here. I think he was just waiting for you to get here, Bridget. But I just want you to know when he's doing whatever he's doing while he's no longer in the room, he's thinking about you now. Rosie says, what just happened? Nothing happened. Oh my. You do know him. Paul says, what? Not needed anywhere. What do you mean by that, Paul? Mr. Possessive says, I'll rein it in. He's laughing his you know what off. Marlon says, you could have spared her that information, or were you talking about Melissa? Oh. Rosie says, Mister, I'm just a baby, dang. I'll act like I didn't see that. Paul says racism isn't needed anywhere. That's correct. I don't even think Rapper is racist. I think Rapper just likes to be banned. Wassa says that's literally the greatest comeback ever. I just got burned. Bridget says, what do you mean I know him? You've banned him before. He wanted to be banned before, and it wasn't until he said something to you that he got his wish. Amanda says, Bear gets grizzly. What, Michael? No, Cat. Never mind. See, it starts at night. I actually used to get up at night and write and paint and think. Mr. Pacific says, wait, isn't Rosie 19? She is. She says, I am, mister, but she's innocent. Bridget says, oh, new account. No. Mr. Possesses is sorry, Rosie. LOL. Hemlotta, hello. It's good to see you. Good morning. Ah, Marlon. Good point. He says, come on, Rosie. Plenty of folks here know you from Amanda's late night lives. Hemlotta says, hi, friend. How are you? I am really well, Hemlotta. I hope you are too. Wassa says, I can't even come back from that one. I'll just slink out backwards here. Rosie says, LOL, shh, MK, don't expose me, dang. Bridget says, so you unhid him? Why would you do that? Because it's my channel, it's my choice. I always give more chances. And I give people a chance to change their mind. Sometimes he does. He's been really fine up until now. So Marlon says, then my work here is done. Rosie says, I regret every bit of it. Please, I'm trying to forget. Oh, the Amanda thing? Right. Mr. Possessive says he's playful usually. And Rosie says, Marlon, you're being evil. Telling on her like that. You know, he did that to me today, too, as a matter of fact. I told him a secret and he kind of threw it out there in the open today. Rosie says, I miss her though. I saw she was doing some bathtub stuff not too long ago. Is she not doing anything lately? Marlon says, I meant Wassa, but sure. LOL. And Wassa says, I know. Bridget's mad. I'm sorry. Bathtub stuff, intriguing. I don't get it, but that's all I'm going to say. Rosie says, you said what? I don't know. Marlon says, you literally said it on your lives, Cat. This is your live. Paul says, bathtub stuff? Yes. Just, this has just gone off the rails. Oh gosh, you know what? It's probably time for Yogi. I am sure he is live. And I've got a coupon. It's going to expire. I've got to go. If you go to Yogi's, tell him Kat had a coupon expire and she had to go. I love you guys. Bye. This is getting too deep for me.